Hello everyone, my name is Shayna Bleckerman and welcome to Bleckervision. Now for this video, I'm gonna need a little change of wardrobe. If you can't tell, it's fuzzy, but you could probably tell that this is a Hufflepuff hat, which can only mean one thing. Shayna is about to film a video about Harry Potter. Now that's not gonna come as a surprise to people who know me. I'm just disappointed in myself that it's only the second video and I've already brought it up. Whatever. Today we're going to talk about one specific element of being a fan, and that is
fanfiction.
Oops. People don't like to talk about fanfiction because it has some negative connotations. 50 Shades of Grey. But it's not all bad, contrary to what I'm about to show you today. For those of you who don't know, a typical breakdown of what happens in a fanfiction, be it any genre, any level of maturity, is the creator takes the characters from a certain franchise, be it Harry Potter or Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Sherlock or Supernatural, takes a group of characters and rewrites a piece of the story. They could either rewrite an ending, they could change the result of a plot line, they could add their own little story and place it in. There's many different ways of doing this, but it's a creative outlet for authors. Some people like to even put themselves in the story, which is totally valid and totally allowed to do, because no, don't yuck my yum. Don't knock me down for wanting to be a part of the magical world. Great, so if you want to include yourself in that fantasy world, you do it. We're going to talk about one specific piece of work. And no, that is not 50 Shades of Grey. I do not approve of that book. If you want to hear me rant about that a little bit more, maybe I'll make a future video about that. But we are going to talk about a fanfiction some of you might have heard of called My Immortal. There are two schools of thought on this particular work of fanfiction. One is that it was a genuine piece of work, which I find hard to believe for reasons you'll see later in this video. And two, it was made as a joke, which I choose to see it as. So we're gonna explore this particular piece of literature. This is G-rated. It's just some bad writing. So we're going to explore some portions of the famed My Immortal fanfiction from the Harry Potter universe. This is the preface that the person who posted this online put. Now, this isn't the original author who posted it, because the original author, the work got deleted off the website and people have been uploading it kind of like pirated-y, whatever. The Return of My Immortal. My Immortal is the most famous, notoriously bad fanfiction ever written, based on very loosely in the Harry Potter universe and featuring the I can't say that word. Blatant Mary Sue protagonist Ebony, or often sometimes Enoby, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way. In fact, the fanfic is so unbelievably bad that many refuse to accept that it is real, insisting that Tara was only trolling and that the story is really a parody. Regardless of the author's intent, My Immortal remains one of the most cringeworthy, unintentionally hilarious, so bad it's good pieces of literature the internet has ever shat out. You ready? So, at this point, Ebony Darkness McGree, whatever her full name is fighting Voldemort. No, I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted, Imperious, and I couldn't run away. Crookshanks, I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Oh, also, Harry Potter's name is now Vampire Potter. No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. Thou must, he yelled. If thou dost not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude, you're so retarded look on his face. "I hath telekinesis," he answered cruelly. Let us continue. Oh, so, just as Harry changed his name to Vampire, Ron changed his name to Diablo, and Hermione changed her name to Bloody Mary, and all three of them were moved into Slytherin House because they're sadists now. So this is another point in the story. Vampire's scar starts to hurt. Then he started to scream, "OMFG! No! My scar hurts!" And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. "No!" I ran closer. "I thought you didn't have a scar anymore," I shouted. "I do, but Diablo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation." So at this point in the story, Dumbledore is now a poser. He has dyed his hair black, and at one point he flew in on his broomstick with black robes with red trimming that said Avril Lavigne on the back. There's a My Chemical Romance concert in Hogsmeade. Bloody Mart was going to the concert with Dracula. Dracula used to be called Navel. I'm assuming she means Neville, but she wrote Navel, like belly button. Going to the concert, Dracula used to be called Navel, but it tuned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. Navel converted to Satanism and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. This is good stuff. This is entertaining. This is funny. I don't think she's a bad entertainer at all. I think this is hysterical. She spells school skull often, and then she writes, "Get it? 'Cause I'm gothic." "Draco, please come," I began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I love sensitive bi guys. If you're a homophone, then go away. I'm not judging in the slightest. I just wanted to share that piece of work with you, and you can see into it as you will. I encourage you to plug yourself into whatever stories you want. And I encourage you, fellow viewers, to leave a comment down below and like this video and subscribe to my channel. You don't have to do any of those things, but it would certainly make me a happy person. And if this video made you a happy person, you should let me know. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye, let's hope.